If you think self-care looks like this, then you are absolutely right. But if you think that this is what self-care is about, then you're only seeing the tip of the iceberg. Because yes, indulging in a bubble bath or a face mask can be a part of self-care, but it's really more like the sprinkles on top of an already well-made sundae. Self-care is not the sprinkles are nice, but they're not the point. So what is the point? What is the purpose of self-care? Well, in our book, Self-Care for People with ADHD, my co-author and I define self-care as the boring stuff that keeps you alive and thriving. And even though that may sound a bit grim, I promise you it's actually kind of awesome once you get into the groove of it, because it's all the little things that make up the background hum of your life that you notice when they're not there. Like, how quiet is your house right now? How peaceful do you feel? Maybe you're re-noticing these little things for the first time because you're re-watching this video in your jammies at 9 a.m. on a Saturday like I am, and that in itself is revolutionary. Because if just a few years ago someone had told me that one day I would wake up on a Saturday before my partner and my kids, I would have laughed in their face. But here you and I are, so I know you can do hard things. You just need a minute-by-minute guide on how to start. You see, this is where the rubber meets the road with self-care. It's not just about the occasional face mask or bubble bath, but it's about building the habits and systems that allow you to show up for yourself day after day. And I know that sounds like a lot of work, but here's the thing: doing the boring work of setting boundaries, managing your finances, and keeping the promises you make to yourself, actually the only way to free up the space in your life for the fun stuff, the face masks, the bubble baths, the peace and quiet, the good stuff. So let me give you an example. One of the most common pieces of advice out there for people with ADHD is to set better boundaries. Easier said than done, right? But if you think of self-care as the boring work, then setting boundaries becomes less of a buzzword and more of a practical skill that you can develop, like cooking or playing an instrument or managing your money. Because if you don't manage your money will just slip through your fingers like sand. And no amount of bubble baths or face masks is gonna change that. But if you pay your bills on time, you have an emergency fund. If you save up for the things you want, then you'll be able to buy those bubble baths and face masks without the added stress of wondering if you can afford them. It's the same with boundaries. When you have healthy boundaries, you'll have the emotional and mental space to enjoy the things you like to do. But setting boundaries isn't just about saying no to other people. It's also about saying yes to yourself. It's about making time for the things that matter to you, like taking a break when you need it or asking for help when you need it. And sure, it's scary to say yes to yourself when you've spent your whole life putting everyone else's needs first. But it's also incredibly empowering, and once you get the hang of it, you'll wonder why you didn't do it sooner. And that's the thing about self-care. Sure, it's hard and it's boring, and sometimes it feels like it's not making a difference. But the truth is that every small step you take, every boundary you set, every bill you pay on time, every promise you keep to yourself, it all adds up. And one day you'll look back and realize just how far you've come. And maybe, just maybe, you'll even be kind of proud of yourself. And that, my friend, is the true meaning of self-care, not the bubble bath, but the pride. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that this video has helped you to see that self-care is not just a bubble bath, but it's all the little things that make up the background hum of your life. It's the boring stuff that keeps you alive and thriving. Thank you for your support, and I will see you next time. Bye.